Hi guys, I'm Ismail Sheikh. Today we are going to discuss about the SQL language. So what are we going to discuss in this particular video? So these are the few things that we are going to discuss. These are a few basic commands that we are going to check. The first thing will be creating a database and then a table. Uh, then we are going to insert few values into the new table, and then we will check how you can use update, alter, and delete command. So let's get started. So this is the screen that you get when you log into Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. This is the Object Explorer where you see your server and the database and other important things. And this will be a window which will be using for query window. So in order to create a new database, you can use two techniques. The first one is using Object Explorer. You just have to right click on the database and then click on new database, and then you can give name for the database, and then you can click on OK. So this is the first technique. The second technique is to use the query. Now, in order to create a new database, you have to use create command, and then you have to specify what you're going to create. So I'm going to create a database here, and then I'm going to give it a name. Now let's give it a name. Let's say sample DB. So this will be my database name. So if you want to execute this query, there are again three techniques. You can select this query, right click, and then you will see execute query command. There you go. This is the first technique. The second technique is to just press F5, and the third technique is to click on this button. It says execute. So I'll be clicking on this button, and you will see a prompt which says command completed successfully. That means our database has been created. So in order to check if our database is created or not, you just have to go to our Object Explorer again. You can just refresh it, and then you can click on this plus symbol. You will see all the database which are contained in this server. So let's check what was the database that we created. Okay, so there you go, sample db has been created here. So this is how you create a new database. Now I have to use this sample DB database. That means I will be accessing this particular database to create tables and perform other actions. So in order to do that, there are again two techniques. The first one is to use the drop down menu over here. Here you can see all the databases which are contained in the database server. Now you see sample database over here. So you can just click on here and then start with your other operations, or else there is another command which is use the database name. So sample db is our database. Now once we execute this, you will enter this sample db database. Now let's execute this, and now you can see command completed successfully, and you can see we are in this particular database, that's sample db. Now let's check how we can create a new table in this sample db database. Now as I mentioned earlier, we are already in this database. So in order to create any thing on SQL, you just have to use this command, that is create, and then we are going to create a table now. Now you have to enter table, and then you have to give a table name. So let's give a student table. That's the table name. And then after you uh, s- do that, you have to enclose it with the opening and closing bracket. Now I have to give some properties to this student. Now, what are the properties that you can see in a common student? Uh, the first thing is that a student has a roll number or an ID. Now, let's give a roll number to the student. And what is the data type for uh, roll number? Data type is nothing but type of value which will be stored in this particular column. So I'm going to give it as integer, that is int. Now the second value will be name. Every student has a name. Now varchar will be my data type for this particular column. Now why varchar? Varchar is used for string values. So it contains multiple characters. It allows you to perform. Uh, it can accept integer as well as alphabets, so you can use it both ways. Now let's add another column. Let's say place, and the data type for place will be varchar again. Okay, so this is how you create a table. Once I create this table, the columns will be created automatically. Now let's execute this. So you can see command completed successfully. Now in order to check what is in this particular table, you have to type select star from the table name, that is student. Now just select this statement and then execute it. You will see a table has been created. This is a blank table. Now we will learn how to insert few values into this table. So in order to insert values in the student table, you have to use insert command, and then you have to specify where you're going to insert these values. Now I'm going to insert values in the student table. So you have to specify the table name again, and then you have to enclose it with the opening and the closing bracket. Okay. Then I'm going to specify the columns where I'm going to insert these values. The first one will be roll number. I'm going to insert a new roll number, then a name, and the place. So these are three things that I'm going to add in the student tables. Now you have to specify values. So in order to do that, you have to insert values, that's values. Now again, you have to enclose it with the opening and the closing bracket. Now I'm going to insert a roll number. Let's say 1. Okay, and I'm going to give a name. So for varchar, whenever we use varchar, you have to make sure that we use uh, this symbol. So that's nothing but single inverted comma. I'm going to give a name. Let's say Ismail. That's my name. So the place, again, place is a type of varchar, right? We use this varchar command when we were creating student. Now I'm going to give a place. Let's say India. So that's the place that I've updated. Now if you want to execute this command, again select this command and click on execute. Now you see one row has been affected. So whenever we insert values in the table, it will be stored in the form of rows, not the columns. Okay. Now, in order to check if our table has been updated or not, you just have to click on this particular statement, that select start from student, and then click on execute. Now you can see a table has been updated, a row has been affected. Okay. Now I'm going to insert few more values in this table. So I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to add few more names and values. So let's say I'm adding a second value named Shiv. Location is Jaipur. I'm executing this again. I'm adding third value. Let's say Kolhapur. Now I'm going to execute this one more time. Let, let's see what are the values added. So you can see there are three records in this table. Now in this table, I have to update the first row. Okay, I have to change name, which is Ismail, to something else. So in order to do that, there is a command which is update. Now in order to use update statement, you have to use update, and then you have to specify the table name, that's student. Then you have to use set command. Okay, now I'm going to specify the column name which I have to update, that is name, and you have to type an equal to, and you have to give a new name that you want to update. So instead of Ismail, I'm going to update it as, let's say, Sam. Okay, now we have to give the ID where it's actually located. Sorry, roll number. So I'm specifying the roll number so that the executor can detect where exactly Ismail is located and what we have to update. Okay, where roll number is equal to 1. Now I'll repeat that. We are using update statement. I'm going to update value for student, that is Ismail. I'm going to set a new name for Ismail, that's Sam, where roll number is 1. Now only one value will be updated, where the roll number is 1. Okay, now in order to execute this, you just have to select this and click on execute, and you see one row is affected. Now in order to check again, you can use select command, select star from student, execute it, you will see Ismail is changed to Sam. So that's how you can use update statement. Now we can check how you can use alter command. So alter command is basically used to make changes in the table. Okay, so let's say if we have to add another column in this table, you can use alter command. So let's check how we can do it. Now alter command, for alter command you have to use alter, and you have to specify the table name. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a column in this particular table. Okay, so you have to specify table here. I'm going to add a column. Now in order to add a column, you have to specify the uh, column name again. I'm going to give the table name as standard. Let's say standard. Okay, std, and then you have to specify the data type again for this standard. So I'm going to give it as integer for now. Okay, now let's check if this works. Okay, now you just have to select this and then click on execute. You see command completed successfully, and then you can check if our column has been added or not. In order to do that, select start from student again. Now you can see a new column has been added, and you will see null values over here because we haven't added any standard values in the table earlier. Okay, now let's take a recap again. What I did, I used alter command, used table, and specified the table name. I added a column which is standard or std, and I specified the data type here. The data type is integer. and then I clicked on execute, and then there you can see a new column was added. Now I have decided I don't want this column in this table. It's unnecessary. So in order to do that, I can still use alter command, but there will be some changes. Instead of add, I have to use drop command. Okay. So alter table student drop standard. So and I don't need this data type to be specified. It's not necessary. Now let's select this and execute. Okay, there's some error. Okay, it says could not drop constraint. So now you have to specify what is the type. I am uh, dropping a column, so you have to specify that. Let's check if this gets executed. Now you can see command completed successfully. Now let's check if our changes are made. Select start from student. There you go. That's how you can use alter command to drop. Now we are going to check how you can use delete command. So once we use delete command, the records from the table gets removed. Okay. So let's check how we can do it. So in order to use delete command, you have to use delete command like here, and you have to specify where are you going to delete these records from. So I'm going to delete some records from student, and you have to add another clause, which is where statement, and you have to specify where exactly this value is located or where this record is located. Now I have added a roll number, which is 1. Okay, first let's check what was the table before. So this is the table, and I want to remove this particular row or delete this row. Now you can use this statement, which is delete from student, that's the table name, and I'm applying a condition which is where roll number is 1. That means roll number is 1, and these records from where the roll number 1 is located will be removed. Now let's check if it works. You see one row has been affected. Now let's check what's the new table. So you can see roll number 1 was removed and all the records from that roll number were deleted. Now what if I don't use this where statement? So if I delete this condition, all the rows from these particular table will be removed or deleted. Okay, now let me remove comment this, and let's check if this works. You see two rows are affected. Now let's check our table again. You will find a blank table. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you can use delete command in SQL. You have to be very careful while using this statement. So thank you so much for watching this video. This was just a demo video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and I'll be coming up with more videos in future. And please post your feedback, and if you have any questions, please comment below, and you can always reach out to me on Facebook. My Facebook page is Let's Learn. The link is in the description, and please subscribe to my channel Let's Learn. Thank you.